Are you allowed to discuss your pay details with a fellow employee? Can you ask someone else about their rates and hours? Or if you're a manager of a team, can you enforce a rule that prevents your team from sharing their pay information? It's probably worth taking a few minutes out of your day to know the answers. Ahoy, Peter here from Brighter Training, and today we're exploring another HR-related topic with pay secrecy changes made to the Fair Work Act in Australia. So ever wonder if you're allowed to discuss your pay information with your colleagues or others? Are you being paid fairly and equally? Is the offered salary for a new job a fair one? In the past, employers in Australia could enforce pay secrecy policies or write these into employment contracts, preventing staff from discussing their salary, bonuses, or other compensation details. So can you talk about this with your colleagues? The short answer is yes. Yes, you can. And if that's all you need, then thanks for watching. Remember to hit like and subscribe to help us out. But it's worth understanding some of the details. So in December 2022, the Fair Work Act was updated to address pay secrecy and protect employee rights. Now, this was done to promote transparency in the workplace, support gender pay equality, and prevent the concealing of gender pay discrepancies, and to promote overall fairness for employees. So how does it work? Employees and future employees now have the right to share or not share their information about their pay and their employment terms and conditions that are needed to work out the pay, such as the hours of work that they're doing. And employees can now ask other employees, either with the same or a different employer, about their pay and their employment terms as well. Of course, you can't be forced to give this information to another employee if you don't want to, but the option is now there. You can also exercise these rights even after you leave your place of employment. And employers can't take adverse action against an employee who exercises these rights. So when does this apply, and what happens if you still have pay secrecy terms in your existing contract? So if you entered into an employment contract on or after the 7th of December 2022, or if you entered into a contract before that date but your contract doesn't include any pay secrecy terms, then the changes apply to you now. Now, if you entered into an employment contract before the 7th of December 2022 that has pay secrecy terms, then when your contract was next updated, then the rights apply after that contract is changed. Now, there was a rule that stated if you have an old contract with pay secrecy terms and your contract hasn't been varied or updated, then those terms would generally still remain in effect. But it would be rare now in 2024 to have a contract from before 2022 that hasn't had some form of amendment by now. And as a general rule, as of December 7th, 2022, the Fair Work Act in Australia explicitly prohibits pay secrecy provisions in any contract or agreement. So even if an old contract contains such a clause, the amended act pretty much renders it ineffective anyway. Now, there are sometimes minor caveats and conditions to different types of contracts and awards or industries. So when in doubt, always check with an authority. If you do receive a new contract that has pay secrecy terms, then you can request that these are removed from the contract before signing. However, either way, the terms are not enforceable, so you still have the right to share your pay information under the law. Remember, this relates to pay secrecy. It doesn't imply that everyone should get the same pay. It doesn't factor in a whole host of variables that may dictate differences in pay. But at least there is transparency regarding the numbers, so you can get the conversation started to explore, potential inequality, gender gaps, or other cultural issues in your workplace. As always, this is general advice, and it's designed just to make you aware of workplace law changes in Australia. And it's valid as of the date of publishing this video. But if you have any specific concerns or questions, it's always worth speaking to a HR professional, seek legal advice, or contact the Fair Work Ombudsman. I'll include a link to their website in the description. So let me know what you think about the pay secrecy changes or your experience with this in the comments below. And thanks again for tuning in.